Ladies and gentlemen, you've been crying over a closed door, but let me remind you, the same God who shut the door already prepared a greater path. Stop staring at what's locked and start walking toward what's waiting. When God closes a door in your life, it's easy to feel like rejection has the final say. You may sit in the hallway of disappointment, replaying the loss, asking why things didn't work out, wondering what you did wrong. But that closed door is not rejection, it's redirection. Sometimes God has to stop you where you are to protect you from what you cannot see. That opportunity you wanted, that relationship you prayed for, that job you thought was perfect could have been the very thing that derailed your destiny. What feels like a no is often heaven's way of saying, I've got something better. Too many times we mourn the closure instead of trusting the redirection. You don't realize that God is not just shutting doors, He's rerouting your steps towards something far greater than you imagined. A door can close because the timing is wrong, the people are wrong, or the environment is not aligned with your purpose. And if God let you walk through it, you would have settled for less than what He designed for you. That's why you cannot let frustration blind you to the fact that your steps are ordered. Closed doors don't signal the end of the journey. They signal a shift in direction. It is not the end of your story. It's simply a new chapter being written. Trust that every no is a divine setup for a greater yes, because what is for you cannot be locked out forever. When life shuts a door and all you're left with is silence, it can feel like God has walked away. You pray and hear nothing. You cry and feel no answer, and your heart whispers, where are you, Lord? But silence is not absence. Just because you can't trace His hand doesn't mean you can't trust His heart. God does some of His greatest work in the quiet places. Behind the curtain of your life, He is arranging the details, aligning the right people, and setting the stage for your breakthrough. Think about it. When a seed is planted in the ground, there is silence, no sound, no movement, no sign of life on the surface. Yet beneath the soil, something powerful is happening. Roots are forming, foundations are being laid, and growth is taking place unseen. That's exactly how God works in seasons of silence. He may not be speaking, but He is preparing. He may not be showing you the whole picture, but He is shaping it piece by piece. The silence is not meant to discourage you. It's meant to strengthen your trust. Because faith is not proven when everything is loud and obvious. Faith is proven when you choose to believe even when heaven is quiet. So don't confuse silence with abandonment. God has not left you. He is closer than you think, working all things together for your good. And when the time is right, the silence will break and the door will open. Too often we treat one opportunity as if it holds the weight of our entire destiny. We convince ourselves that if this door doesn't open, everything is over. But your life's purpose is not contained within a single opportunity. One door does not define your future. It's only a step along the path. God's plan is far too big to be confined to one relationship, one career, or one moment in time. When a door shuts, it doesn't erase your calling. It simply redirects you to the next phase of your journey. You must understand that destiny is progressive. Each door you walk through equips you, shapes you, and prepares you for the next. Sometimes what feels like a dead end is really a transition point, a bridge to something greater. If you limit your perspective to one door, you'll miss the truth that God has multiple pathways leading to your purpose. What seems like loss can actually be a release, freeing you from settling in a place too small for your growth. The dream in your heart, the calling on your life, cannot be held hostage by one missed opportunity. There will always be another chance, another open space, another divine connection. That's why you can't let a closed door convince you that you're finished. The path ahead of you is layered with doors you haven't even seen yet, and each one will lead you deeper into your destiny. Your purpose is bigger than a single moment. It is a lifelong journey. Disappointment has a way of breaking our hearts, but it also has a way of breaking us free. What feels like the end of something precious is often the birthplace of new direction. Sometimes we only move when life pushes us, and many times that push comes in the form of disappointment. A door closes, a dream shatters, a plan falls apart, and suddenly we are forced to look for another way. That painful no becomes the very thing that points us to a greater yes. Disappointment is not the enemy, it is a teacher. It shows us what wasn't meant for us. It reveals where we've been depending on the wrong things. And it reminds us that our steps are guided by something greater than our own desires. Think about it. If every plan of yours worked out the way you imagined, you would never discover the depth of strength, creativity, and faith that is unlocked in times of disappointment. That setback you faced isn't the end of your journey, it's the redirection of your journey. The very thing that made you cry may become the reason you grow. The roadblock is not a stop sign. It is a signpost pointing you in a new direction. When you learn to embrace disappointment, not as failure, but as redirection, you'll begin to see the beauty in the closed doors. They are not there to destroy you. They are there to reroute you into the path of your true destiny. Faith comes alive the moment we step into what we cannot see. When one door closes and the next hasn't yet appeared, that is when trust is tested the most. It is easy to believe when everything is clear, when the path is lit, and when opportunities are visible. But real faith is not walking by sight. It is stepping into the unknown, trusting that God is already there. You may not see the new door yet, but that doesn't mean it isn't being prepared. Faith is the bridge between your present pain and your future promise. It is what carries you through uncertainty and a destiny. The unknown can feel frightening because it strips away control. You can't plan every detail. You can't predict every outcome, and you can't guarantee how it will unfold. But that's the very place where faith grows strongest. When you take steps without clarity, you are declaring, I trust the one who holds the path, even if I can't see the way. Think of faith as walking in the dark with a light that only reveals the next step. You may not see the entire road, but every step you take in trust brings you closer to the door that will open. Faith doesn't require you to understand the journey. It requires you to believe the journey has a purpose. Don't wait for every answer before moving forward. Start walking, even if the path feels uncertain, because faith will always carry you to where you are meant to be. When God opens a new door, it doesn't just restore what you lost, it multiplies it. The path he places before you is not meant to take you backward, but to elevate you in a greater purpose. Often, we look at a closed door as the end of a chapter, but what lies ahead carries more glory, more opportunity, and more fulfillment than what was left behind. What you thought was the best thing for your life pales in comparison to the abundance waiting on the other side of the new path. This is why you cannot afford to stay stuck staring at what's shut in your face. The closed season was preparation, but the open season is manifestation. Every tear, every trial, every disappointment becomes a seed that produces greater blessings when you walk through the right door. The new path will not just replace your losses, it will reveal why you had to go through them in the first place. You'll begin to see that the struggle was not wasted. It was building strength, character, and faith for where you are going. And when the new door swings open, you will realize that it wasn't just about you. The blessing on the other side is designed to touch others, to influence lives, and to bring light into places you never imagined. The new path will always carry a greater weight of glory than the old one, proving that what God has ahead of you will always outshine what's behind you.